So, you are all from the Isle of Albion. It has been 200 years since the death of the one true king. In that time, the kingdoms of Albion have splintered. They have fractured into tiny, petty, balkanized states, warring with one another. And the lands have fallen on dark times. You are a person whose primary motivation is to gather treasure and magical secrets and power and glory. And you do that primarily by delving into the ancient sites of Albion's past. You've heard of a place called Rappan Athuk in the borderlands of the far Pict North. And on the far northeastern coast, the eastern marches of Albion. And that is where you have traveled to. You've been here for about a week now. Let's see. This is the last known settlement. Far up into the north. It's a little peninsula that juts out onto a river named Zelkor's Ferry. Zelkor's Ferry is a village that primarily consists of these riverfront tenements that jut out into the water. It gets most of its trade from the ferry, and there are several ferry boats, kill boats that travel back and forth in the river from major cities to the west. Very few people come from the main gate, although I think at least one of the characters probably has. We'll talk about that in a moment. But most of you came via the ferry because of an ancient site that you've heard rumors of to the east. That you hope to delve into and make a name for yourself. Zelkor's Ferry has an inn, which we'll talk about in a moment. The innkeeper owns a stable. Now, the two new players don't have to do this, but for returning players from the last time you played, if you're well, of course, Father Bloombad and Caden have reduced costs as priests because they stay at the chapel of Sir Galahad, which is the mission chapel and graveyard in the village. And then if you are a Hound of the Pine, you also have reduced costs. Otherwise, from the last time you played, you should subtract 14 gold pieces. 7 gold pieces. And if you have a horse, for each horse or mule, another 2 silver pieces per day, or 1.4 gold pieces.
Does that count? What about the dog?
I would imagine the dog could stay in your room.
Right, but I assume this is covering food as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll say that it costs a silver piece per day. Because he's a carnivore and he's a Rottweiler. So anyways, there's a strange hut that sits overlooking the water. It emits awful smells. Stacks smoke pour out from it, day and night. There's a lodge where drinking and carousing can be heard, especially at night. Groups of other adventurers come into Zelkor's Ferry, planning to make the overland journey into Rappan Athuk and try to find their own entrance. And there are several places to buy and sell items, including a bowyer and a smithy. But tonight is the 9th of Beltane of Samrad. what is called Adventure Tide. A time when the people of Albion put their affairs in order and try to set out to accomplish the things that they hope to accomplish in life. And you spend the night having met each other. So you've known each other for a few days. Of course, Brother Caden and Father Bloombad and Magnus, they already know each other. But for everybody else, you heard about these people that know of a way into Rappan Athuk. And so you've spent some time talking. Tonight is the night before. And you're currently at the Bristleback Inn. The Bristleback Inn is, despite the growth of the village over the past year, a rustic affair with soggy old wooden beams and hardy scarred wooden tables and chairs. All sorts of people are in here drinking and eating, and I'll apply this to next week so you can take a look at this next time. It's clear to you that there are a group of people here like yourself. You can tell that they have borne armor and swords and spears, and they plan to try to make their own way into Rappan Athuk. There are 4 of them sitting together. And then there's another table of 3 people. It's easy for you to see that these are hopefuls. Other than that, everyone here seems to be a common worker. The ferry has not come in several days. And now, before we get started, for Bjorn and Finbar, you've been here for a week. So you've been hanging out at Zelkor's Ferry, preparing to make your way into this infamous dungeon. And in that time, you've gathered some information. Possibly. Each of you can roll a d10 and a d6.
I accidentally left my dice out last night and not in the container they're supposed to be, so I have no physical D6s available to me because my cat got into them. I'll be rolling digidice for that.
Well, digital dice are great anyways, that way we can see it. But either are fine.
Great idea.
Ross, is there any modifier for Bjorn's illustrious 14 charisma?
For this rumor, no, but if there's something that you try to learn during the week, you could also you could ask. If there's something that you tried to seek out. Let's see, you got
I got a 1 and a 1.
nice, okay.
I think I'll be sticking to physical dice for the rest of the evening.
This is good. So usually on a d6 you want to roll low, which you did. So on a d6 you got a 1, so now you can each roll a d100 as well. And Finbar, you got a 2 for local rumors, and Bjorn, you got a 1.
I can roll 20 right now. I got a 1 as well.
Early on, Finbar, you heard about an entrance somewhere south of here that people have had luck at in the last year. They say that the best entrance into Rappan Athuk, the most certain one, is a place called the Mouth of Doom, somewhere south of Zelkor's Ferry. Bjorn, you have heard a rumor that no one will elaborate on, but everyone smirks. It's become almost like a saying in these parts. They say, "Don't go down the well." Some people don't even seem to know what it means. It's just a joke about the... whenever you say you're interested in Rappan Athuk, that's what they say. And I think if you wanted to ask about mystic druid powers and druid things, I think you should ask Caden in character in a moment. Because I bet he's got some things he could tell you. And I think you should. And then...
About druid powers?
Yeah, about some of the things you've seen. About Solos, about the lady. Anyways, you also got that the name of this place takes its meaning from, this is what someone said, Bjorn, that the name of this place takes its meaning from a wizard of old named Zelkor. And some say the legends are that he is now an evil lich that somewhere resides in an upper level of that place in an evil temple. And then, Christian, you got a 56. You hear that somewhere to the east, there are these hills, cliff sides that overlook the ocean. Those are the main entrances into Rappan Athuk. And somewhere there is a shrine to some foul god or demon in those hills. Its corridors a gauntlet of terror and gruesome death. No one who has went to the east has so far returned that anyone knows. Those are the things that you've heard. Is there anything that you want to ask about, including to your... Well, actually, let's start by introducing your companions in the past week. What is... When they came into Zelkor's Ferry, how would they have found out about Caden?
Oh, you're asking me? I don't know, probably to hear about this crazy priest that keeps going into the dungeon. And he comes back with treasure and things.
Bjorn would be
He's
looking
built up
to get hired by adventurers, so if Caden was in any way recruiting or known to recruit, I'm sure Bjorn would try to find him, since Bjorn would be going out of his way to look for a adventuring band to join.
Yeah, he probably hear of the House of the Pine.
Yeah, apparently this local... I think both local priests are also members of this. Some people call it a mercenary company. Some people call it a group of hedge knights. Most people in Zelkor's Ferry see them as heroes. This campaign's been going on a while, and in game time, it's been about a year and or so. And in that year in the world, they have saved this village several times. So you've probably heard of these two archpriests. They are the two... I don't know what you call it when two priests are given stewardship of a place, but it's not official. But they are the two priests of the temple here, and
They would be co-rectors.
co-rectors. Thank you. They're co-rectors
Like me and my dad.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. They're the co-rectors of the Temple of Sir Galahad. You probably hear about them very early on when you come into town. What else would they have noticed about Father Bloombad? I think I can guess, and we'll see it in the tavern in a moment.
I mean, did I wait for every ferry, cast detect evil, and view every person coming into town?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you see shortly after you come into town that a man will often stand, even at night, as the keelboat makes its way into dock. A man with a mace stands ready, waiting at the dock. To inspect every single boat and everything that comes in and out of this place. In fact, when he comes in, the music stops and everybody stops talking. I assume you want to cast Detect Evil, right?
As always.
Yeah, everybody just stops talking when Father Bloombad comes into the tavern. The only source of evil that you notice is actually,
My drinking buddy.
yeah, is Magnus's drinking buddy. Now, I'll tell you, it's not the type of like roiling, servant of chaos that you detected in that
I was there when he charmed him earlier, right?
Yes,
yeah,
you were.
actually, you know
Yeah,
about this, yeah, but
Yeah, I understand. He's a tool at this point.
exactly, yeah, you were there and you saw it happen, yeah. So yeah, apart from and I will also note that I think you get the sense that could change about the man. He could actually, it's possible he could genuinely change. It's also possible he could stab everybody in the back. Eventually, everybody gets back to drinking, if just a bit more subdued now with Father Bloombad here. And then there's Magnus. How would they have found out about Magnus on the way in?
Well, he's got this dog now. So I suppose the biggest outward fact about him now is probably the dog. As it accompanies him everywhere, and I mean, it's nice enough, but not too nice. Magnus himself is a man in his early 50s, with sort of a scraggly, somewhat short beard, and a messy ponytail. And so I guess he would have heard of him if people spoke about exploits. Really, he doesn't talk about himself a lot. He doesn't really talk to people who aren't interested in the things he's interested in. So he might be spoken of suspiciously because he's probably visited what's his name more than once.
Yeah.
I know I have, in fact, for sure. And that, and also, he's always hanging around with it's his strangest group. This thug showed up, and then also the two other wizards. I forget their names, but
Yeah.
we're still trying to start this concern, or have started it. Basically, we haven't really done much with it, but.
Yeah, I would say when Bjorn and Finbar, when you all come into town over the days, you probably would either have not noticed them or seen them as these unscrupulous figures. This dour-faced and cynical man that hangs out with this other strange bearded man in the tavern, except that they keep the company of the two co-rectors, the two priests of the temple, who are considered great heroes, and they hang out with them openly. And you come to know that Magnus seems to be able to access, what would I call it? Well, just sorcery. He's able to do things that people shouldn't be able to do. So,
Always scribbling on some parchment.
since I mentioned Magnus, and Dave, you mentioned Bjorn. When Bjorn comes into town, then you said he finds someone willing to take on an adventure. Certainly, that would have been Caden, brother Caden. So you met Caden, you met Magnus. You're here the night before your planned expedition into this infamous ruin. What do you have anything that you want to say to them, or any questions for them, or anything you want to share about Bjorn?
So you can check out the character sheet. I've got like a appearance in there. I'll read a little bit of it for vibes. Bjorn's a bit over 6 feet tall. He has thick, unshorn black hair and beard, often entangled with a few leaves and twigs. He appears to be a mere fighting man, dressed in well-worn soft leather tunic and leggings, his feet bare more often than not. Carrying a spear with a large round wooden shield carried at his side, painted black with a green Ouroboros, the serpent eating its own tail. Bjorn wears a leather backpack common to adventurers with a lantern hanging from his waist. Notably, Bjorn carries a stark black marking across his neck, following the blood vessels there, and has sunken eyes as well. The man is overly thin and raw-boned. He is often seen with his black mule named King. And then over the couple days you've gotten to know Bjorn, Bjorn is highly meditative, often spending moments in silence whenever beautiful natural scenes are passed while traveling. Yet he is often sarcastic with blunt, dark humor common to the Norse people. The druid will often perform his rites in secret, gathering herbs under the full moon, or preparing his prayer to Odin for the day off in a glade alone. In his conversations with more lawful companions, Bjorn explains that wickedness is simply the shadow cast by goodness, forever entwined. So Bjorn would essentially arrive in Zelkor's ferry, just himself and a mule, looking to find an adventuring band to join, so that he can increase his wealth, increase his experience, get more initiated into the mysteries. So I don't think Bjorn would totally spill the beans completely on Druid, but he might in conversation. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, roleplay wise, I don't even think he'd bring it up. I think he would
Okay.
kind of be low key. I think for all intents and purposes, you might assume Bjorn's a fighter for now.
Yeah, all right. There's, for everyone else, when you meet Bjorn, there are two things that are peculiar. In particular, the veterans that are from Zelkor's Ferry that have made their way back and forth into the Dungeon of Graves. One thing that you know, because probably Father Bloombad knows every single person that comes in and out of the gate, when the gate is opened, and everything that comes in and off the boat. Especially after what happened with the guy who killed the guy and ran off with the helmet and being under siege, and then having the traitor and everything. So that has been effective, if not making everyone nervous. And something really peculiar about Bjorn is he did not arrive by keelboat. He arrived overland on foot, probably by himself, which is very strange indeed.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's alive, yes, and clearly intelligent and talented and good with a weapon. The other thing that is obvious to you is this is a world of darkness and distrust, and the eastern reaches are about to fall under the might of barbarian raiders from the sea. And you also met Father Bloombad. Well, I think also Magnus. No, Magnus wasn't there yet. He showed up after the other guy died. And Caden, brother Caden, you saw an entire camp of these people that something had happened and they became isolated. Bugs barbarian camp. The Fonjotter. And you spent some time with them. It's clear to you that Bjorn is one of those people. And he has a heavy...
I don't remember that.
You don't remember the barbarian camp with the... when...
I was there for one session of that. That's where my fighter started.
Right, and then he died, yeah.
And then he died. Magnus came
I don't think I was there.
Caden was not there for that. Solus was there. Father Bloombad was there, I think.
Yeah, totally.
And as was a couple other folks who are not here now.
Interesting. Okay.
Krogan,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's one of those people. So you don't reveal some of your intentions yet, but and you probably don't know this, but out of character, Father Bloombad and Caden can sense your intentions anyways. That's probably why you were allowed in at all. But that being said,
Good thing I made that agenda, huh?
yeah, I see I see that you have as a goal this kind of like seeking of mysteries and information about Druidic circles. Now, you don't reveal much, they don't reveal much. Perhaps they will later. But what is clear to you is that this place is rife with magical secrets and people who dabble in all sorts of strange things. There is a lot of that here. Roll 20 is died on me. Give me a second. Okay. And then lastly, sorry that took so long. Finbar McDare. Sounds like he is from the Isles. It sounds like he's a native.
Yes, Finbar Mekdare is, for all intents and purposes, a naive and starry-eyed local farm boy. Some time ago, his father, Dare, his brother, Niall, came back from the areas surrounding Zelkor's Ferry. Niall was a bit of a vagabond. With tales of the Hounds of the Pines, tales of fighting priests and wandering druids and incredible fighting men who are more impressive than you've ever seen in your life. And so since that point, Finbar has been using all of his spare time when he's not baling hay or helping with the harvest or threshing the grain or milking the cows or churning butter, all the normal sorts of farm stuff. He has been using that time to train and to practice with an axe and a dented old sword that his uncle Niall had brought back, that he just kind of, I think, Niall just found lying around. Discarded weapon.
What is Finbar's alignment?
Lawful. He's a good old boy.
So he speaks the language of law, which is like Latin. It's the religious the language of religious
he's
rites.
He's been a churchgoer his whole life.
And
the parish nearby where his farm is a lot more tame than what it sounds like the Zelkor's Ferry parish is. But
so when you come into town and you express to them that you're here because you essentially are here to be a hero, my question would be, what would Father Bloombad say to that? Like, a young person shows up with, a blade and is like, I'm here to slay chaos, and
you can tell all of his equipment is clearly secondhand. It looks like he thinks it's great, but it's not not commissioned or anything like that. It's definitely secondhand.
Carpe diem, you shall come with us next time we fare out.
Nice. All right.
Absolutely starstruck by that.
Okay, so you're here in the tavern the night before. Is there anything else that you all want to talk about, or any planning that you want to do, or anything before you set out in the morning?
I just want to cover ahead of time. I'm pretty sure that Menakan had a bow last time he was with us, which was against the spiders.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
So, no, I'm just I didn't actually check. I just wanted to. Their stats are missing too, by the way.
It may just. I have that he has.
It probably just takes. It just takes a while to fill it in.
Yeah, the stats don't show up unless you have specific access to it, I think.
I will give him a bow because he gets a rate of fire of 2 with a bow, so that's pretty good. Okay. All right, you got it. And he's yours. You got the character sheet. You can do the attacks, all the stuff I put in, so...
all right. None of it's showing up for me yet, so we'll just hope for the best on that.
Just let me know if that happens in the dungeon. I can see it, so it's some sort of connection issue. All right, so Caden, anything else in the night before you try to get some sleep and head out? Father Bloombad, you don't detect any other traces of evil.
I can't detect magic as well.
Ah, interesting. Okay. Well, you'll detect anything that Magnus is carrying that remains magical that hasn't been traded or sold, including any of the items that you all brought back.
See an odd-shaped, what looks like a utensil, maybe a spoon or something.
Okay. And let me just see, because Odo Bristleback himself is clearly magical to you.
I try not to look at him whenever I do this.
Yeah, the burly the innkeep that you've come to know, and the landowner of Zelkor's Ferry, basically the petty lord. He is clearly magical, and
Caden's mace.
yeah, Caden's mace. Yeah,
I meant
and-
mainly for the strangers.
True.
Okay, yeah, I don't think so. No, other than well, you would Bjorn. He has a sprig of mistletoe. You wouldn't know that's what it is, but he has something on him that is clearly magical. It connects with the other.
And you notice the sprig. It looks like it's worn on some sort of, it's worn as like a talisman underneath his leathers. But if you're casting a spell, you can see where it's at.
All right.
I don't have anything, heavy preparation I need to do or anything, so.
Bjorn would
question, just-
spend the evening being generally charismatic, probably telling tall tales from his faraway land with his cool Scandinavian accent that I may or may not do at a later point.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't have... the question I had was, do we have to cough up any coin to cover for our characters tonight, or...
I don't think so. Usually what I do is the next time you show up, you'll pay for all of the days of any expenses. And then there'll be any other expenses at the end of the session, like mercenaries and stuff like that. And I'll include it.
Bjorn would probably sleep in the stables with his mule, if that's...
You can do that, and it's free.
Excellent.
There's a chance that you can have the item stolen from you. That's the downside.
That's okay, I'm poor already. I have the important stuff on underneath my leathers.
Well, I'll do that next time. I won't do it this time. Weird amount of lag. Anyways, all right. So, the night passes. The sun rises. And it is a beautiful spring day in the 10th of Beltane of Sarod. It is Wode's Day. And you can see, and I forgot to mention some of this, I know some of you all have heard a lot, but since there are new people here, I'm describing some things. When you wake up the next day, you see the walls of Zelkor's Ferry. It's such a clear, sunny day in the morning that you can see around you for quite a ways. You can see a hillside covered thick foliage, trees. You can see that whatever this tributary is that runs off from the river where it forks here, it grows thin and shallow here, a few miles away. And there's a hill on the opposite side. There's a road that you can see a long ways off in the distance in the spring haze, with a little muddy bank that snakes its way in. That's what you can see from where you are. Do you do anything, Caden, before you all depart? Oh, and does everybody have horses?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Yes.
The mule?
I don't know if we have extra horses. I don't think so.
Yeah, we bought those 2 extra horses for the mercenaries not last time, but 2 times ago. Remember?
Oh yeah, we did do that.
All right, so that would leave 3 people without horses, which is fine. I just
Yeah.
wanted to, and that's okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, so that means you're moving at the regular base overland movement rate. Let's see, base movement rate, and I don't think I have anybody right now that is carrying more than 75 pounds. Is anybody wearing enough armor and weapons and chooses to do so in the overland?
Yeah, I've got 86 pounds.
Okay, that'll bring it down to 9 miles a day. So,
Although I could put some extra stuff on my mule. And...
well, I don't think it's primarily weapons and armor, right? Because all of your basic equipment just counts as 10 pounds, right? You don't have like
Yes, that's
50
true.
pounds of oil flasks or something, do you?
Nah.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I think that actually puts us at base movement rate of 9 miles. Now, Caden, you've made this trip several times. Typically what you do is you go to the road, but that's because you have horses. On foot, it doesn't matter quite as much. You're going to move 9 miles a day, and it's going to take 2 days to get there.
Oh yeah, because some of us don't have horses. Okay.
So, where do you all go?
I think going to the road is the quickest path.
Okay.
Yeah, go by the road.
It takes about 4 or 5 hours. Some of you on horseback, some of you walking, mules clopping alongside of you in the hot dust of the spring, kicking up the dust, and you're clopping along, and you get to right here, and you see in the muddy banks here where this inlet reaches this road. This road splits. Now, this road has not been maintained in a long time, but people from Zelkor's Ferry come to and from this road to get lumber and stone from the nearby hills and forest. But it's mostly just a dirt path, and it splits either way, and then there's a lake miles away here. You can see a hill rising off in the distance, and when you get here, this muddy bank has a portion of what was once some kind of statue. It's been destroyed, and the stones are shattered around the statue. And you get, as you're approaching that, let's see, Caden, roll a d6.
Four. That's not bad.
All right, Caden, you notice that off in the distance, about 120 yards away, are a very large group of armed peoples. They were heading towards the road, but it's clear that they can see you, and they're headed towards you now. What do you do?
Huh. What do you think we should do, guys? I'll tell everybody about that first.
Work, talent filling, and try to muscle in.
I think I say continue on the road.
I mean, are they moving faster than us?
They are moving at about. It looks like they'll catch up if you don't turn around and go away from them. They will eventually intercept you. And it looks like they're coming towards you.
Oh yeah. Well, let's head the other direction.
What were you gonna say?
Are they showing any heraldry, or maybe are they friends of yours?
I was gonna say, I bet they're friendly.
From 120 yards away, what you can tell about them as the kind of like as they come more into view is that these are not humans. There is something. There's something different about these things. They look hunched and bulkier, and they don't look normal.
Bjorn is happy to move at full speed in the opposite direction.
Can we give like a general number? Like, is there 100 of them?
Yeah, at 120 yards away, you count there are 15 of them.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, let's just keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah, like horses,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you make it to the road, and you hear yelling and battle cries as they charge onto you.
I didn't make you going towards them.
Wait,
How are we going to kill them if we don't move towards them?
I thought you said keep going to the road.
But I meant keep going towards the dungeon. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's where they're going to.
That intersects us
Oh,
with
they're
them.
going to the dungeon too.
Well, I mean,
There's only
yeah,
15 of them.
Yeah, we have to face them then.
You keep saying that. There's only 15 of them. That's such an alarming thing for you to say.
All right. Let's see. You are in yards. I think you can do 3 times whatever it is in yards, I believe. So don't be too disturbed if you see that, like, you know, they're 70, 80 yards away. That's about, that's less than a full turn. You can basically, they can get to you, you can get to them, etc. And you have 2 mercenaries, so I'll get rid of a couple of mercenaries here. And
I think we probably have them with bows.
Bjorn has a...
I have a sling and then my spear.
All right. Okay. So, they are not surprised. You're not surprised. Anyone casting a spell?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You'll go toward the end of the turn. And roll a d6, Caden.
Oh, 4 again.
All right. They go first. And they charge, screaming into battle, running across the open field to attack.
Oh, I can go that far. Wow.
Yeah, I think you can go 3 times the distance in yards in overland.
Sure, you're not thinking of bow ranges.
I'll check. It's worth checking. But let's see here.
I mean, it's sort of one. It basically. It doesn't matter too much. We're going to engage them, but
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
it matters if they can surround us.
So it's your base movement rate divided by 3 times 10 yards. So your current base movement rate is 9. That's divided by 3 is 3, and then you multiply it by 10
So
for
30
yards.
yards.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, I'm totally wrong. Yeah, I'm glad you had me check.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. They're 120 yards away, so they actually only make it to about where they're at right now.
Fine, there's only 15 of them, so.
All right.
So we need to advance.
They use
Go
their
ahead,
turn.
Ross.
They use their turn to charge to where they're at currently. So.
I think we can let them keep coming.
The archers or something should take cover behind those rocks if they are rocks.
Yeah.
If they're actual, if they provide cover. I don't know. Are there any of them that seem like they have bows?
You don't see any. It looks like they're all just charging at you. Like,
Okay.
yeah. All right. Okay. So no movement.
Well,
I'd like to move. Yeah.
can we?
If you're moving, go ahead and move your token now. These have bows, so they'll follow the command you mentioned, and they'll get behind the rocks.
Bjorn has the best movement category, and I moved 14 yards, so I think I'm good.
All right. If anyone is doing the thing, actually, they won't do that unless you want them to. But if they move, they cannot fire a missile. So
well,
never mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My goal with Bjorn here is to get in cover behind this rock. Can you give me an idea of like how much cover that would be? Would Bjorn be able to tell?
So the cool thing about these rocks is there are a multitude of them. So you can pick between +2 AC, +4 AC, and full cover, which means you won't be able to, send or receive.
I'll take the +4, but I can't. I'll take the +4, but I can still attack if that's cool.
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, and Caden, do you want them to fire? Do you want the mercenaries to fire?
If they can hit them, yeah.
All right, yeah, they can. Let's see. I'm going to use Finbars because I don't have...
Monacan will certainly fire.
Or not Finbar, Monacan. Yeah, Monacan.
Probably he'd use a crossbow at this range. I don't know. I don't know what the ranges are in those.
I'll just say, Yeah, I'm not going to look it up. Well, no,
Okay.
we will look it up. And I have the
Yeah.
equipment right
Heavy
here.
crossbow is 80 feet, light crossbow is 60 feet,
Thank you.
longbow is 70 feet, and short bow is 50 feet.
And all of these are tripled for outdoors.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's tripled for outdoors.
Can I use my sling then?
If
I
the
think it's
range
just
fits.
I think it's just bows, but I could be wrong. It's in the equipment section. I think this will. It's at the bottom of the table somewhere.
Which one are you shooting at, Father Bloombad?
So you said they're tripled, so basically you just convert your feet into yards, right?
Yeah.
That'd be closest.
It
If
is.
I even have a chance.
It does look like it's all ranged weapons are tripled outdoors.
In a yard, it's 3 feet. So basically, if it's 40 feet, now it's 40 yards.
Which one were you shooting at, Father Bloombad?
The closest.
All right. Okay, and then
Well,
let's
I haven't
see.
hit anyway.
Mannequin. I'm
What's the
gonna
13 hits?
Poor Bjorn can't hit with this sling until they get to that rock in the middle.
Oh, that anyway, so.
you were trying to hit ascending armor class 14. All right, so let's see. With a crossbow, okay. Mannequin, you do 4. Which one are you shooting at? Which one are you shooting at, Chris? Oh, that one right there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Anybody else able to fire or want to? No?
I moved, so I can't. Correct.
That's right. Yeah, you can either move or fire.
Could I get a what? If you don't mind my asking, what are these fellers that we're up against here? Let's see, they're about 60 yards away now. Do I have a little clearer picture?
I'm gonna change their description and then I'll display it. They appear
thank
to
you.
have real, like, skill, armor, and brigandine. They seem to have real equipment. Some of it's rusty. They have like clubs with spikes and spears and stuff like that. But they are not human. These things have fangs. Their face is contorted and looks strange and wrong.
Yeah, we might drag some of these guys back to town.
All right, let's see.
If we live.
Any spell within range?
240 feet. I don't think they're quite there yet.
Rounds are 10 seconds in this.
Rounds are, let me bring it up. Rounds are 10. Why? What? Trying to.
Well, I think either way, Bjorn would have a chance to look over at Father Bloombod and say, "Why do they want to kill us?"
Because they represent the dark and we represent the light.
A turn is. Oh wait.
Bjorn laughs.
Turn-
Speak
a
for
turn is-
yourself, holy man.
What?
The turn is 10 minutes. A round is,
A
I
minute.
think, 10 sec. Oh, it's a minute.
Yeah, it's a minute. 60 seconds.
Okay, cool. So plenty of time to have a little tit for tat. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. No spells in range, and so. Caden, roll a d6.
They're not within 80 yards, right? Because that's 240.
5.
Actually, are 60 yards away from
Yeah,
us right now.
They are. Yeah.
Oh,
5.
okay.
All right. Can you cast your spell? No.
I can. If I moved up a little bit, yes.
Okay. Yeah. You can move and cast a spell, or move in.
Okay.
melee.
We go first.
Hold on just a second.
They're within. Hold on. They're within range. So yeah, I'm gonna cast sleep.
Okay.
I love it.
How many?
Depends on the hit dice.
Oh, 1.
What's that?
Well, actually, let me double check. Yeah, 1.
8 of them.
I will just do the ones that probably need to have go to sleep the most. Actually, I'll do like not the wounded ones. You know,
There's only
you have
15.
this mastery of magic to where you can do that. You said 8 of them.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is why sleep is.
Magnus steps a few steps confidently forward, places his left foot in front of his right, and braces himself, and then whispers some words, pulls a little sand out of a sack, and blows it, and a lot more comes out of his hand than it seems like should. And it blows like way across this little field and sort of sprinkles over the formation.
I think to the rest of you, when you see Magnus like step forward and do this, it just looks like suddenly a spring wind kicks up the dirt, and you think that there's a bit of the sparkle in the dirt, the sand. But then you see a half of the ranks of these people just fall and tumble forward as they're charging, just rolling and tumbling into, and they lay still. The others see this happen. They come to a halt, and they turn to immediately flee. This is horrifying to them.
Kind of horrifying to me.
You could try to chase them down, or you could let them go. What do you want to do?
I'll run them down and murder them.
Okay, well, you have a warhorse, so
Yeah.
yeah. Anyone with a warhorse with these people running, I'll give you a +4 to attack, and you can make it in time.
Yeah.
Okay. The deal with the warhorse was that. All right. And is it just you two that have warhorses?
Oh, I don't have a war horse. I have a regular horse.
Okay.
Magnus has a warhorse, I think. But I mean, he's running
No. I don't have a warhorse. I have a light. I chose someone else's light when they upgraded to a warhorse.
That's right.
All right. Well,
So I'll stay on my horse, but well out of melee.
I'll say that everyone with a horse can catch up, and you can make an attack at +4 because they're fleeing, just running away for their lives.
All right. 21.
Yeah.
I'll instruct Monacan to do what he does best and go finish off those sleeping ones.
Okay, you can roll. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Do we want to keep one for questioning?
Oh, good point.
Can you speak their language?
Well, right now they're fleeing. They're just running.
Well, one of the sleeping ones.
Well, let's resolve.
Yep,
go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll the attacks for your.
Oh. Yeah, I got a 14.
14. Roll for damage as well.
2.
2 damage. Okay. Let's see here. This one's dead. This one's dead. Okay. With this many dead, this is why I did this. Yeah. These two drop to their knees, weeping and beg for their lives. This, by the way, is happening off here, right? That like they've charged them. This is off the ways.
Right.
So let me kind of move this around a little bit here, like this.
Can we? Are they speaking in like common, or
No.
can we understand them?
I mean, it's obvious that they're just like soiling themselves and begging for their lives. But apart from that, yeah, you unless anyone speaks any strange languages.
I do.
What strange languages do you speak?
Everything.
Common law, neutral, chaos, and fey.
You do not understand them.
Oh.
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 I'll motion for them to take their armor off and drop their weapons, and I'll point to the fields to the west.
They do that. They drop their weapons and armor. You point to the west. I am both confused, and they are as well. But they're shaking. You know, like, yeah. You want them to just go away? Is that what?
Yeah, once they're stripped down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody can talk to them, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you strip them of all their weapons and armor and everything. Mannequin, being thoroughly chaotic, and Magnus being neutral, just has Mannequin go and slit all the the sleeping ones' throats. These two, you tell them to leave mostly naked, which is nearly a death sentence in the Forest of Hope, anyways. And they leave, and you have quickly routed these people.
Bjorn has been Bjorn sat atop his rock he was taking cover beyond, and kind of watched these proceedings with a very perplexed look. And to one of the is there just one holy roller?
Two.
2 priests.
Two priests, yeah. He mentions to the two priests that justice is very swift here outside of Zelkor's Ferry.
Indeed, it must be.
Yes.
These lands are teeming with chaos.
1 strike for the light, my account. Yes, fathers?
Yes, yes, indeed. I will search the bodies and their possessions that they left for clues.
You find nothing so much in the way of clues, but you do find that there are. Hold on, I think I have this wrong. This needs to go back here. You do find weapons, and armor that you can take. If you load it onto your horses and mules, and I'll say that you take it. I don't have exactly what they have right now, but I can get that to you in the results. But since you have mules, it won't weigh you down. And additionally, they do have valuables that they seem to, you assume, have taken from someone.
Those were the clues I was looking for.
If we load one of the bodies onto a mule, how much will it slow us down?
I don't think it will if you put it on the mule.
Yeah, I think I'll take one.
Okay. You have a mule too, right?
Yep, mule.
Yeah. Okay, so.
To bring back to Old Dark.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah, you, so you travel then for another couple of hours just past this intersection, and you can see ahead on the road, just off the side of the road, there is a group of 6, about 100 yards away, 6 red deer.
Is that unusual? Red?
That's as I understand it, a common fauna in the Scottish Highlands. Red deer.
I mean, we all have food, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let
I mean,
them on
there
their
is
merry way.
And
yeah,
you all,
their pelts are not notable.
yeah, they're just red deer.
Yeah, okay, damn right.
I mean, yeah, if we leave them, they may distract other predators that might, come after us otherwise. So.
They do pay for pelts in town, so you could make a little bit of money, if you tried to hunt them. But the
Not
other
a
thing,
good use start tonight.
yeah,
Bjorn discourages any hunting of the red deer.
they are beautiful, yes. And if you marked off a ration, you don't have to for the first day of note, because you ate at the inn. They serve for the previous night and the next morning every time you stay. So you make it just past this intersection, and by that time the sun has set and darkness falls. What do you do?
Probably make camp.
Okay.
Magnus has a bedroll and a tent.
Living large.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've got that too.
It's not too large now. It's 1-person tent.
Yep.
But he lights his little lantern and then he ignores everybody. Stays up.
Bjorn prefers sleeping outside.
Bjorn, I wonder if you could read the stars for signs, for things.
Sounds druidy to me.
Yeah, there are. It won't give you anything, but and I don't think, based on what you're saying, I don't think you would share this with anyone else who might be able to correlate this. But you could make a wisdom save
All right.
to be able to commune with the ground and the sky.
I got a 20.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Since you got a 20, then I'll say that you learn, you can feel several things. One thing is that the forest ahead is wrong. There's something wrong with it. They have like octopus-like suckers on the tree trunks. It's not a blight. The trees have changed. It's as if this is from a place not of this place. It's as if a forest from a different land is here in this forest. And then, not so much from the 20 result, what you would also be able to tell from the stars is that there are some strange things about the stars. You can tell that that there are signs from stars far off this way that are strange, and that would be something akin to the stories that you shared in the tavern. And then there are stars that hang over the sky far to the east, and you can smell the ocean air 50 miles away on the coast. But from the stars, you can suss out the pattern of Ragnarok, of the end. There's something. If the sign is true, then it means an ending, something that will bring about an end.
So Bjorn certainly shares around the fire, and he tries to be very spooky in his telling of the octopus trees ahead that they're heading into.
If that's the case, the stuff this way is stuff about hunting and animals and animal spirits.
Caden and Bluebad don't seem concerned about the trees.
Holy men, your gods will protect you, I'm sure.
We've seen those trees.
Yes, they have in the past.
You've seen them before.
Yes.
Yes, we've been up close.
What are they?
They seem to just be trees.
Yes, they come from a thinning of the veil.
There is a crossing over to the other there.
It is very fortuitous I've joined up with those so close to these mysteries. Go ahead.
Maybe you notice at this point that neither me or him have shadows.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. You probably noticed that now, yeah.
I think that's one that Bjorn would file away. Not bring up, at least to the people without shadows. And just a quick heads up, I'm swapping detect snares and pits for detect magic.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, your people know of other worlds, Valheim and Hell, and places other than this place. And so the idea that you could step over into one of those other places, you know. What about Finbar, as he's hearing about the octopus sucker trees and the path into other and all that kind of stuff?
Well, growing up on the farm, the only thing you really had to know was what your role was, whether it be milking the cows, shearing the sheep, or threshing out the grain for that day. So Finbar knows he can sleep well, just knowing what he has to do. His primary goal is to be of as great a service to these people as he can. And after seeing what Magnus did, after hearing these three guys all talking about their crazy octopus suckered trees and the stars and Ragnarok and Valheim and everything like that, Finbar's every time somebody opens their mouth, he's convinced that he can't be any more amazed, and every time anybody closes their mouths, he's proven wrong. And so,
Yeah, and
so he's
Finbar
he-
has been in his first battle against Chaos, like
didn't
15.
do a darn thing in it, but man, he was in it.
Yeah, it's and was victorious, and you saw him vanquished. Yeah.
So I'm role-playing Finbar very accurately in that he's been very quiet this whole time, because he knows his place is not of discerning the will of the stars or of discovering what the octopus trees are all about. The only thing of note that he would have had to add this entire time was just that he doesn't particularly like deer because they eat the apples at his Uncle Niall's orchard. And then they get into the crops all the time as well. So normally deer are shoot on sight. But that's on a farm, not out in this world. So.
Magnus laughs from his tent.
Yeah.
You can eat. I should mark off a ration, correct?
No, not for the first day. But
Thanks.
for the next day, yes. Well, yeah, when you wake up, you would. Yeah, for the second day, yeah. Yeah. So the sun rises on another nice spring day. The wind is calm and still. Dew lay on the grass in the morning, and so everybody should mark off a ration at this point. Yeah, for everybody does have a water skin, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And where do you go, Caden?
I think we're gonna stay on the road.
Okay. You're traveling along the road, and you make it past this saddle, where there's the bald hill, and you hear screams and pleas and cries for help in the forest.
Male or female?
Female.
Common?
What?
They're in common?
Yes, in common. I'll
The
even
creepy forest with the trees.
yeah, I'll even play it. It sounds like this.
Well, I mean, we should go, although we should be suspicious.
It is a trick, holy men, but we will go.
How far away from our course will it take us?
The forest
how many
itself, it's only about 200-300 yards off the trail.
Oh yeah, we
into
could
the
do
forest. Okay. You head into the forest, and you start. Do you have the mercenaries like watch the horses, or do you take this whole like all the horses and all the mules and everything with you into the forest?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, how,
Probably leave them behind.
Bjorn would tie his mule at the edge
Or-
of the tree line.
Do you think?
let's
Anybody?
leave him for now.
Okay.
Okay. Everyone else, you head into the forest, and Caden, something familiar happens. You're walking. You hear the old, mossy, damp forest floor sloshing under and crunching underneath your feet. The old dead wood, the sucker-like octopi-like branches and roots coming up out of the ground, the dense, dark canopy. And you turn around, and Magnus is gone.
Oh, not again. Well,
We still hear the cries for help.
No.
everybody stick together.
Yes,
I'm
let's
gonna-
rope up. Let's rope
Yep.
up.
Yeah, we're gonna rope up.
All right.
Told you it was a trick.
Yeah.
Now, so you all rope up. Do you leave Magnus to his fate? But you can, to be clear.
No,
Sorry.
we keep
Chris.
going.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
well,
looking
last,
for Magnus.
last time we kept going and we ended up where the people that disappeared were anyway.
Yeah, so
Let me get. I should have had this out.
I have a feeling of what we're gonna encounter, but I think that ogre is back. Or ogre mage thing.
Now, is this like there's only 15 of them, or like a holy crap, there's 15 of them? What do we?
Oh, this is a holy crap. There might be one of them.
Yeah.
Where the frick did I put the... I need this...
So roping up, I guess, is tying a rope around all of our waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we get dragged off, we can find each other.
2 of us disappeared early on last time before the rest of us arrived on the other side.
Maybe I can find it here. Sorry,
I don't have many tricks up my sleeve, but would it be helpful if I could see arcane energy right now?
How long does it last?
Possibly.
Would only last maybe 20 minutes or so.
It might be useful.
Here
Well, if you
we
could
go.
see arcane energy, maybe you could see where Magnus went to.
Yeah, that's maybe.
Perhaps.
We don't know how this works. This happened before.
So
I'm happy to try.
my question would be, do you try to... do you do this before you rope up, or do you rope up right away and then start looking and then do this?
He can do it while we rope him up.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine if someone disappeared, I may instinctually try to detect magic.
Yep.
If you think that sounds fair.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you sense something strange and wrong, and you do in fact think that perhaps you have found a place to somewhere else. And although you're not sure where Magnus is, you think you know where that is.
So detect magic, it's a 60-foot range. It lasts 20 minutes.
You detect it in a dark copse within the trees.
So I kind of see like a dark copse in the trees, and it's like a wound almost, maybe, that goes elsewhere.
Yep. It's
right.
just darkness, as far as you can tell on this end. But
So as far as the casting of the spell, I'll say that Bjorn looks up to the sky, closes his eyes, holds his spear up, and then when he opens his eyes, you see they have a little quick bright shimmer to them. Kind of glances around, then he points with his spear to the described dark copse of trees. There, it is thin there.
Maybe. We'll go that way.
okay. As you tie yourselves up and you do that, let's see here. Need...
Once we get Magnus, we should get out of there, but
As you pull some things apart, you see something that for you, Caden, well, Caden wasn't there, but for you, Father Bloombad, you maybe remember. This is impossible because this very place, this very piece of land you have touched before, you've seen it. But it was nearly 100 miles from here, in a cave. You come out into a sickly yellow sky, and you do not see forests around you on the other side of this copse, but instead you see some large hedge that surrounds the area. There's a pathway in the hedge that leads further off somewhere. Everybody can make a wisdom save, and I'll also describe what you see in this clearing while you do that. You can let me know if you pass. It's a wide square lawn, about 10 yards, and 10-yard squares, that are manicured, that alternate between black and white stone slabs. There are chess pieces of obsidian and white marble, twice the height of a human. You can still see from where you are, among the slabs, scattered here and there, are bones that appear to be human in size. I have to make a roll for something as well.
I got a nat 20.
Nat 20. You think two things, Caden. You think that you hear very faintly off in the distance. Let's see here. Well, you think you hear the pumping of some sort of machine. It reverberates around you loud enough that you wonder it couldn't possibly. I suppose there's a cognitive dissonance to it. You feel like you hear a pumping machine and clanging of metal, but the whole ground lightly vibrates, and it must be larger than to be in any one place. And the other thing is you think you hear muffled mumbling coming from the stones.
Do we see Magnus anywhere?
Magnus, meanwhile, when you all entered the forest, you had pulled a branch away and found yourself in this place. So Magnus, you got here first. What does Magnus, and when you look around, no one else is here. In just the moment that you arrive. So what does Magnus do the moment he arrives here?
Attempt not to panic. And search my surroundings. Are there any artifacts nearby? Any people? I don't say anything.
Okay.
I just try to listen.
Did you pass your wisdom save?
I didn't make one.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do that as well. Wisdom 16, rolled 16. Bjorn, you also hear what Caden did, if you all arrive. Okay, you pass, so... you hear that gentle thumping of some sort of mechanical works off in the distance. You think somewhere over the hedge, on the edge of this place. And then, as you come to investigate, you hear a muffled, like a...
Did Manakan come with me, or did the dog there still back with the rest of the party?
You are alone.
Okay.
Currently.
Well, in that case, I do not pursue the muffled voice. And I just try to listen.
Okay.
And maybe hide.
There's nowhere clear to hide here.
Okay.
So you don't go anywhere, you just stop and listen?
Yes. I'm trying to. If I hear what sounds like machinery, it's like that's not a common sound.
Right.
You're saying this muffled voice is also coming from the same direction?
No, the machinery sound is this pervasive and kind of long vibrating sound that it feels like it's just sort of around you, but it's kind of off past the hedge. But the muffled sound is coming from this stone, from these pieces.
Detect magic.
I think as soon as you cast the spell, you almost throw up from being disoriented. And you find that probably what you need now is a spell to detect what is not magic. That is to say, you need a spell to detect home, or what you are. Because everything here is other.
You cast Detect Magic, and it's like you've been flashbanged.
Well, so these stone chess pieces.
Yeah.
So everything.
Yeah.
So everything.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
So you're saying I hear muffled voices coming from within the actual pieces of stone?
yes.
Okay. No, I back away.
Okay. All right. So you're here for just a moment, then everybody else comes in. When you all come in, you see that Magnus is here, just standing by himself.
Looking somewhat dazed and like sort of looking around. Everything here. Everything.
Oh, it's the same place. Well, it's a little different, but it feels the same.
Yes, Wizard, this place, we found this same place in a cave, my companions did. They exited the cave to tell us about it, and when we went back, it was gone. This is a, perhaps, limited demi-plane of some sort?
Suddenly, these large birds
Oh, no.
start coming from around the corner, curiously pecking at the ground, and they start to peck and wobble towards you.
Let's go back the way we came.
I'll throw some rations down. I'll take like 2 of my rations and 2 days
Okay.
worth and throw them down.
All right, yeah, you do that, and you think you hear the muffled sound grow louder as you peel the trees back and make your way back into the dark copse. And when you do, and you peel that back, you go back and you're just in a dark forest. You never find out where the voice came from.
Oh, so we all left.
How are we near the hut?
I'm sorry, I assumed that you chose to leave. I
Yeah.
thought I heard Caden say that you all were leaving.
Yeah.
Were the chess pieces like I've played chess before. I mean, is there a board? Like, can you show me an arrangement?
The stones, there were like these big black and white stones that were 10 yards by 10 yards. The chess pieces looked like chess pieces, like knights and queens and pawns. They were black and white stone and marble. They were about twice the height of maybe 1.5 times the height of a person. They would have been towering up above you.
I mean, but is there an arrangement I could see or no?
It looked like a game was afoot, and I will say you could roll a wisdom check to see if you can quickly recall, wisdom save to see if you can quickly recall who may have been winning, but the game was in process.
My kids are making trouble. I need to go for just a minute. I'll be back
That's
when
all
I
right.
can. As soon as I can.
Yeah, in the disorientation of everything that happened, you weren't able to get a sense of which
Oh, wait a
side
minute.
was
I have a
winning.
wisdom of 17, so do I get a +1 on that roll or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So
That's
that would
like,
be a 12, and I need a 12 because I'm 4th level.
okay. Yeah.
It would be a success, then, right?
All right. Yeah. It looked like the. Well, let me look. It looks like the black side was winning, or the dark stone. What was it made of again? The stones that were obsidian. The obsidian stones were winning.
Yeah, we didn't see any puppet theaters this time.
All right. Now, before we run,
I don't think we should leave so fast next time. I mean, next time we find this place, I think maybe we should study it a little bit more.
all right.
I'm just glad we all got out safe.
Is that a hut nearby?
You did not see a hut.
Huh.
You just went into the woods, and then Magnus got lost, and you tried to follow him, and then that happened. I will say we've only got about 40 minutes or so left to
we're
make
gonna
it
head
to the dungeon. Yeah. You make it this time about right here. And Caden, you can roll a d6.
Well, that's the worst result. 1.
1. Okay. As you enter the woods, suddenly a flash of spears surround you. And you hear these creatures mumble and garble in this weird language, like blah, 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 blah.
What kind of
And,
creatures?
it's the same ones that you saw before, these kind of mutated looking humanoids.
Ah.
They're not attacking you, but they have surrounded you. And have spears
Now,
pointed
are
at you.
these friends of yours?
No, don't know these people. Things.
Is there one that looks bigger than the rest?
Yeah.
I will look directly at him and I will clang my mace against my chest plate and call him out for single combat.
All right. Let me add a plus 4 to this because that's cool. 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, so the rest of them laugh and they point, and sure enough, he drops his spear and steps off to the side and roars. Wow. And takes out an old, like a rusty half blade. It looks like a half destroyed machete or something, acting as a short blade, and he invites you to come and meet your doom.
Does Wombat have any magic items?
I have a shield +1.
I will pray to Odin for you, my friend. But
well, if you fall, I shall recover your shield.
That is all I can do.
All right, Bloombad, Father Bloombad, you can roll a d6. And we'll just roll. Okay, so you can go first. So we'll just roll 3 attacks. Just 3 attacks, and then resolve them in order.
We're held at spear point over here, I assume.
You want me to roll all 3 right away, or?
Yeah, just go ahead and yes, and yeah, you can roll 3 right away. So it looks like the first one hits, and then does a 12 hit?
No, I'm armor class 18.
Okay, so you hit him for 4 damage, and all these they laugh and roar as their companions hit for 4 damage, and then he as he's down in the dirt, he swings around with his blade and slices through your armor, and your blood sprays into the air for 6 points of damage.
What?
And you can roll 3 more in order.
Mm-hmm.
He missed.
Uh-oh.
Did let's say 12? Do you have a bonus to that?
I assume it's already counted in, right?
I don't know. I can look. D20 plus 1. Is it a plus 1?
Yeah, I have D20 plus 1.
Okay. Yeah, that does not hit. 4. So he you fail to hit him after that as he enters this rage, and he swings wildly as well. It barely misses your head, and then he swings around and clocks you in the gut. While your armor hits it, it knocks the air out of you for another 2 points of damage. You can roll another 3 attacks to see how they go in order.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay,
right.
Good. Yep. So he's just about to bring this. He leaps through the air, and he's just, because I rolled a 19. Let me see what damage I would have done.
I'm back.
Alrighty. Well, I wouldn't have done tons of damage, but he leaps down like he's going to take this rusty blade and just cut you in half. But you're able to intercept him and kill him before that. What does that look like?
Oh, my mace smashes the front of his face and takes it off of his body.
All right, yeah, you smash his face like a pumpkin, and his body just flops over like a rag doll. And everybody, the rest of them, they wail into the air in mourning, and their commander is lost. And they begrudgingly remove their spears and offer to just let you go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I bet that's the last
I,
time we're gonna see those guys for sure.
I take the blood from my mace and I draw like a cross on the front of my chest plate.
We're gonna take his stuff too, right?
Okay, yeah, let
Does
me
he
have
have
that.
anything?
Sure.
I'm also casting Cure Light Wounds on myself twice.
All right.
Yeah.
So, finally, an eventful 2 days of journeying. Well, almost into the evening of the second day, you make it to.
They were determined to keep us from that dungeon.
Now, as you're traveling through the forest, you see this mountainside. This, for everybody else that's new here, this mountainside that raises up a good 2,000 foot tall mountain, 1,500 foot tall mountain or whatever. It's mostly bald and rocky. It's one of the reeks of this place. And you make it about halfway up, and you see a huge stone demon face, easily 40 feet tall. Its open mouth, the dark entrance to its open mouth, 10 feet tall. Within a gaping stone maw, you see ebon black stone stairs leading down into the darkness. So you've made it back to the mouth of doom.
Fitting name.
Yes, it is.
You have been to this place before?
Yes, we take the light in with us.
This is the entrance, yes.
Finbar thinks Father Bloombat is the coolest person he's ever met, and it's not close.
Speaking of light, does anyone have a light source going?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I'll do a lantern.
So yeah, who is going to have a light source active, and who's going to carry it?
I would prefer to do my shield and spear, but Bjorn kind of sucks, so I'm happy to also carry the lantern if someone prefers.
I will carry a lantern. I have nothing else to carry that I need to carry. I'll carry a lantern.
I think that.
Okay, so you can carry my lantern.
All right, I will then give it to Magnus, and a lantern is 60 feet. So, and then I'll describe what you see when you come down here. Now, I know some of you all have seen this place. However, it has also been a while since any of you all have been here. So, when you come down the dark black ebon steps, it goes down for a ways. And at the bottom of the staircase, you can see an area around you with 6 different doors. It's probably, what is this, 40 feet or so either way that you go. The door straight ahead of you down at the bottom of the steps appears to be open, and the other doors appear to be closed. There's a door to your left and right, and then areas behind you. When you come down here, it is everything is stone, a gray stone. The ceiling's about 15 feet high. The floors, and the air is old. Without circulation or new air, you find that you have to gasp for air, and your lantern even kind of flickers. All right, Caden, what do you all do?
My thoughts were to go to the east and check out that door we haven't opened.
Okay.
Can I listen at the door first, or try to? Have we checked in front of it for traps and everything already?
Well, last time we came, there were no traps there.
Anybody mind if Bjorn takes a listen at the door first?
I will say that will take a round, but you can make a listen at door check. But if you can do that.
That's a D6, right?
Yeah. I'll also describe what you see here. When you come to this door to listen, you see that a skull is carved into the stone over the top of this alcove. The door Yeah.
Spooky.
You don't hear anything on the other side of the door.
So Bjorn signals back, kind of does like the cutting his throat motion, like I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I'll send Caden through the door first.
All right, Caden, you're able to take the hinge, the bevel of the door. It's the stone door. It's got iron banding. It's got an iron bevel. You take the bevel and you're able to open it. But when you do open it, it goes and screeches loudly and grinds. The metal does on the hinges. You find that it easily opens and it just opens almost of its own accord. It's no problem. But there's just something about how it sits in the hinges that it screeches loudly.
That's fun.
Does anybody have some oil that we could put on those hinges?
I have several flasks of oil. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need a whole flask. Maybe just juice them up a little. So
Caden,
this doesn't happen in the future.
I'll bring Magnus up just enough so that you have the maximum benefit of the light here, just right next to you. And with that, you can see ahead of you. So this goes on, you know, at the edge of your lantern light, right? This hallway continues about 2/3 of the way down, about 40 feet. It goes to the left and to the right into the dark.
Okay. I'll go to the corner.
Let's see here.
Like right there.
And your all's base movement rate is 9. So that makes it 180. Okay.
I think based on the map, I know what's south.
Okay. So you go to the intersection. I'll put everybody together and bring you to the intersection here. Don't worry too much about the order of march. I'll assume that you put yourself into an order of march that works for you. You get to this intersection and you can see that it continues there to your left and to the right. You can see to the right that it seems to switch back or continue on into the dark. And then here ahead, there seems to be another intersection if you keep going.
Okay.
Also, who's mapping?
I have Flanagan's map pulled up.
If no one is
But I'm not
mapping,
mapping.
and you find a new entrance, then you may not get the benefit of it. That's the only downside to not mapping. Otherwise, totally up to you.
Who wants to map?
Not me.
You're the one with the quill and ink.
Finbar's not a man of papers. and
Oh, Lord.
pens.
Well, I have a character.
I'm the wrong man for the job.
Me too.
I mean, it's a plus symbol. Come on, you can work with that, can't you? You're a wizard, right? Come on.
Well,
All right. Daggone.
You've been press ganged.
Yeah, I'm the wrong man for the job in more than one way. I don't even have my notebook to hand.
well,
Sad state of affairs.
I think
Just
Ross knew
commanded
none of
us.
us was going to do it. He's buying time.
I don't think so.
All right. So that's okay. No one has to map.
I got a little scrap of paper here.
All right. You've traveled from that door. Well, look at it here. You've traveled from the door in that main chamber about 45 feet. And then this continues on for another 55 feet. To the left, it goes to an intersection after 35 feet, and to the south, an intersection after 30 feet. T intersection.
I believe there's a pit trap
Where?
right there where I just pinged.
Nice.
Because we've been before, I believe. Thought to try a different direction. How about north?
You've never been north before?
No, we're east.
Let's do it.
But I want to check the square right here when I get near it.
Let us explore the unknown.
Okay, you come up to here, and you said you want to check the floor here at the intersection.
Yeah, with my 10-foot pole.
You take the 10-foot pole and you move it against the floor, and you find that the floor just barely shifts a little bit.
So it's not like a trap.
It seems like there are 4 tiles, 10 feet each. That's 20 feet by 20 feet, and the whole thing kind of shifts a little bit when you push against it.
It is a trap.
Yeah, it could be. And lift it up.
Left or right, then? I mean, we could jump over it, right? It's...
Can I lift it up with the pole?
Yeah, sure. You take the pole and you leverage it and lift it up, look underneath, and there's about a 15 feet drop into a pit.
Okay, you're right.
Anything in the pit?
There does not appear to be anything in the pit when you push this thing off of it. Just loose stone. It looks like that other pit that descends down into a place, but you don't see any sumps or alcoves.
I guess I'll put it back and then step around it.
All right, which way do you go?
To the left.
All right. You, I assume everyone carefully goes around it. Like everybody's being careful, and you make it around now. Let's see here. So, this. Okay. Give me a second. Caden, roll a d6, please.
6.
Okay.
It's either good or bad.
Who can say?
I think that this happens when you try to cover the pit up. You hear things scurry and burst out of this. Let me see what they do.
Out of the pit?
A screeching, scurrying noise as these creatures hungrily pour themselves out of the pit, and they are there are these things about this big, and they're just like pouring out. You can roll a d6.
How big?
They're probably the size of a dog, like this big.
Oh, okay.
1.
1. Okay, I got a... So I need to not get a 1. I got a 4.
Get a
They're
1.
able to act first, right? Yeah, I know, right? Let's see.
Are they bugs?
There it is.
Oh. Rats. Watch out, if you get bitten by one of those, you might get sick.
Oh, it's lagging on my computer. There we go. Okay, let's see. They're able to act first, and...
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Would Magnus have been in the back? Who would have been in the back?
I assumed I was stepping next to Caden, since I had the lantern.
Okay, that makes
But,
sense.
Yeah, I was going in the front.
Okay.
I mean, he wouldn't normally be in the front, but you had positioned him, we might as well see far ahead as we can.
All right. Who would have been in the back in the order of march? Bjorn?
I feel like he'd be in the middle.
Makes sense. All right, I'll
Think
keep it
so.
as it is. Mannequin and Bloombad. These things are able to fit about 3 abreast here. 2 of them are going to attack Mannequin. They miss, and one of them's going to try to attack Father Bloombad. I think it hits.
18.
Oh, 18. Never mind, it does not hit. Yeah.
18. Wow.
And it's your all's turn. Now, if you fire missiles into combat, there's a chance it could hit your ally if you miss. But right now,
Yeah.
there are only 2 of you that can fit in that hallway as it stands. All right, you miss. You want to roll for Mannequin, Chris?
Yep, he has to use his dagger, I suppose.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Well,
All right.
that'll hit.
I am not going to give him the benefit of a backstab, but
That's
yeah.
fine. Still, it hits.
All right.
That's good
you,
enough for me.
Yeah, you kill the one in front of you.
Finbar would want to try to protect his friends right up next to... First of all, he'd want to be next to Father Bloombad. But secondly, he'd want to be fulfilling his role, which he sees as a meat shield at this point.
Do you have a polearm or spear?
I don't. The MO that I envision for Finbar is to chuck his hand axe and then move in with his sword. But he feels uncomfortable doing that in such close proximity.
Yeah, this is like a claustrophobic, like tight hallway. Right now, you wouldn't be able to fit. However, Bjorn, you have a spear. If you wanted to attack, you can attack from the second rank in the middle.
Groovy. Let me roll that here. Does that work?
10, I think, misses.
Yeah,
I
probably.
wonder if people can swap positions.
Yeah, you need ascending armor class 12. Okay, so roll a d6, Caden. We'll work out our battle plans. All right, you guys got a 6. You're able to act first. What's the plan?
Can I switch places with the Mannequin?
Yeah,
Fine with him. And
Okay, so only 2 people could fit in this hallway as it is.
Okay.
You could switch, but I will give them a chance to attack Mannequin.
Are they on the lid of the pit?
Is that okay?
Yeah, they're not causing the pit to fall in.
I think... Well, only one of them gets a shot at him, right?
Yes.
I guess I'd rather not, honestly. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens after this round. I'd rather not them get a free
Okay.
attack on him.
All right.
could somebody else cause the pit to fall in and then fall?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I hit the lid of the pit, could I cause it to collapse, perhaps, or no?
Yep.
What would I have to roll?
You don't have to roll for that. But you have an object long enough to cause it. Because I'm going to make you a deal with the devil if you don't. If you use your foot, there's a chance you'll fall in with these things. But if you have
I was saying, like,
you
can I
have a
slam
two-
it with my heavy mace?
I'm going to say that, okay, here's my thought, right? You got these giant things on the ground, and you're going to get on the ground and try to slam it with a mace. That's going to be harrowing. So, yes, you can do that, but they're going to get a chance to attack you because you're like literally getting down on the ground and trying to slam something with your mace. You're going to go prone, right? But essentially,
Yeah, so what am I rolling? Like, what am I rolling?
alternately, do you have a 10-foot pole or anything?
I don't.
Okay.
Can I pass?
Nah, if you do it as on your turn. But anyways, yeah, okay. Actually, yeah, you could do that. You could pass him your pole. Because yeah, you're all able to act first.
So I could use the 10-foot pole then?
Yeah. You can do
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, so you pass up the 10-foot pole as these things are trying to swarm up on top of you. I'm going to give a couple of them a chance to succeed. The rest are going to fall in. You try to collapse in this thing. And let's see. What's that?
Bravely hiding behind a shield.
Nice, yeah. All right, let's see here. You collapse it in, and then two of them are going to get a chance to save. One of them saves, the other one fails. So 4 of them fall into the pit. They take D6 damage each, and that kills them all, actually.
Nice.
They all just, like, fall in, and it... Yeah. This one is going to make a morale check. And he fails. If you allow this rat to run away, he's going to scurry off into the dark. Or do you try to kill it?
Somebody take a whack at him.
Okay, well...
I'll try to poke it with the old spear.
Yeah, you know, it's trying to run away, so you could do that. You could attack it with your spear, and Father Bloombag could try to attack it.
Oh, I get a chance to call.
Because it's going to run away. Well, that kills it anyway. With the
Rat
spear.
kebab.
Yeah, that's
Give me a
exactly
rat.
it. You have a giant fat rat the size of a dog on the end of the spear now that you've got over top of Father Bloombag. And
Somebody
I mean, to be honest, Bjorn will briefly examine the rat, wondering if it's a natural creature or not.
there's no
We've seen
way
these.
that this thing could be natural. This thing is, its eyes look wrong. One of the shapes of its eyes is a different shape than the other eye. These things have changed.
As he kind of like squelched it off his spear down into the pit, he turns to the priest. This was once a mere rat and has been twisted by this chaos you speak of, my friends.
I grab
Yes,
Bjorn
indeed.
by the tunic and I say, "We're the rats in the maze now."
Wow.
He wipes
He's
himself off.
losing it.
Caden, are you checking out this door? Is that the plan?
I'm casting detect traps.
Nice. Let's see. All right. There are no traps on this door, and the door opens normally, and it's not locked. And I can describe. You've got these fat spider webs. Now you've seen these spider webs across the place. It's almost like they're almost made of dust. They're huge and fat, but they disintegrate when they're touched. They're just like old and stale and dusty. There's a pile of 8 skulls sitting in the northeast corner of the room. It is otherwise completely empty here. There is a small hole that you notice as you come into the room, bored in the top of each skull.
Oh.
Trepanation.
I'm gonna poke the skulls inside with my 10-foot pole. See if there's anything buried, anything under them.
The pile of skulls just tumbles, rolls across the ground, and there's nothing in the skulls. There's nothing else of interest in this room at all.
Well, okay. Let's go to the other side of the pit then.
Okay, I'll just put Magnus over here just
Should
for
we
your
search the room?
Yeah, a moment. Should we not search this chamber for secrets?
Yeah, there could be perhaps a secret door.
Could be.
All right, let's see here. Anybody searching can roll a d6. If anybody gets a 1, or if you're a thief. Okay, yeah.
Couple one.
I mean, I'm sticking as close as possible to Father Bloombed.
So, real quick, just to clarify, we have,
Manak had rolled a 2.
to my knowledge, a cleric up front here. Then we have a magic user. I've got a druid. Other new dude's a fighter. We have a puppy. And another cleric. And then a thief. Who's a henchman, is that right?
Yep.
About sums it up, yeah.
Alright, cool. Just making sure I knew what the hell's going on. Thank you.
You find nothing of interest in this room at all. However, Rex begins to growl and point toward this opposite room.
That's where we're going next, right?
I pat him. Good boy, Rex. He obviously smells something. Suggest we be on our guard.
Yeah.
The dogs on the farm would always warn us if wolves were going to be coming that night, or if they had been and were coming in force.
Bjorn would attempt to pet the puppy unless it indicated it would be biting his hand off if he were to do so.
I assume Bjorn is a gentle, nature-loving soul with no ill intent towards Magnus.
Oh yeah.
Well, in that case, the dog vouchsafes himself to be touched.
Alright. Bjorn's fulfilling his druidic duty and calming the puppy down.
All right. Rex kind of calms. Who's going to go check the door? I'll just move Magnus here just for a
I'll
second.
look at it and see if there's a trap on it.
Okay. Kind of move some stuff over here. Mannequin's a thief. I mean, he's got...
Yeah, but he said he cast detect traps.
How long does it last?
It's 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, you still got 10 minutes. Okay, so you do not detect any traps on the door.
I'll look for this.
You go to open it, and it doesn't budge.
Huh.
And, yeah.
Okay.
Can I try to force it?
Whoa, is it locked?
Yeah, is it locked?
Is there any...
It seems, Caden, when you turn the bevel, that it is not locked. It seems like it is just absolutely jammed.
Yeah, I'll try this stuck door.
Is Rex still alerting?
Yeah, Rex is kind of growling about something behind this door.
What do you roll for a stuck door check?
Roll a d6 to roll low, and then I'll also do something here. Oh, okay.
A 5, so that's probably not...
You slam into the door. That takes a round. It also makes noise.
I have a crowbar.
And
Does that help? I mean, mechanically, I know physically.
And Caden, you can roll another d6 as a few things happen. Okay. Yeah, you're not surprised, but you hear a voice on the other side of the door, and they're like, "There's no way you're taking us back. We'll die in this place. We're not going back there.
Going back where?
Zelkor's Ferry. You'll not take us alive.
Why would we take you back there?
That cook kept us in the dungeon. In the stocks. The crook.
What cook?
Odo.
What?
What did he do that for?
He blamed
Bjorn
us.
wants to hit his tagline. Friend of yours?
Nah. He blamed you for what?
We've got friends down here. They're probably drawing a bead on you right now. They'll at least drop a few of you. They won't leave
You're
us.
one of those followers of chaos, aren't you?
Just leave us here.
Not an answer, by the way.
Let's talk about this.
You serve chaos, we've come to destroy you.
You zealots! You madmen! Leave us alone! And they make more noise.
At this door one more time.
Hey, come on, farm boy, kick this thing down.
I'm on it! Yes, sir!
Alright, roll a d6. I'm sorry, this is like the first time you've gotten to roll a check. Alright, so
I got a crowbar. Does that help?
you slam into the door, try to use a crowbar, and you can tell that they've both jammed it and they're trying to keep it closed. And that won't take a round, but it will make noise.
leave them, they'll starve to death anyway.
And at that, let's see, Caden, you're not surprised, but you see that there are figures behind you in the dark. And you
Do
can
they have
roll.
pointy hats?
They do not have pointy hats. You can roll for initiative.
Or D6? Is that a 6?
A D6, yeah. You got a 6?
Yeah.
Okay, you're able to act first before they're able to loose an arrow.
What do we all? Okay.
What do they look like? Are they humans?
They do look like humans. They look like they're people with bows and arrows around a corner in the dark, shooting at
Does
your lantern
anybody
light.
have bows and arrows?
No, but I'll go smash their skulls in.
I have a sling. I
Yeah,
can.
go ahead.
So on this turn,
Manakan's certainly going to shoot.
are we able to move? Is that what happens first?
So you can move or do a missile fire.
Oh,
If
okay.
if you're casting a spell, let me know.
Can I wait for people to shoot before I move?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you can fire missiles and then charge, you know. Like,
Sling range is 40 feet for Bjorn. Would you say I have line of sight there, Russ?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and roll that here.
He gets to shoot twice with a short bow, right?
Yep. I think
So
I missed that.
he hit once for 1.
Ooh. Terrible.
All right.
Yep.
Anybody else able to use a? All right. And if you're moving, go ahead and move now. But
Father Bloombad, do you want me to keep working on this door, or do you want me to up to?
Yeah, let's just kill them all.
all right. Yeah. Roll a. At this point, do a strength save.
I can do one of those bad boys.
Because at this point, it's not like some kind of dungeon skill. It's a.
You got people in bed?
With a movement rate 9, you can only move 30 feet, I think, or 3 blocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You
That's
said
not close enough to hit, is it?
no.
Well, yeah. We'll go with it anyway. Unless Blimbad's not coming.
When do spells go off?
They do it at the end with melee.
Okay.
And they will actually move as well during the movement phase. And if you allow them, they're going to flee into the dark.
Yeah, let's give him Blimbad.
What a bunch of bitches.
They
Okay, so-
are faster than you, and you won't be able to keep up, but you might be able to tell where they go.
Yeah, I want to see where they go.
How many are there?
There are 2 of them.
I would
If it looks
where they're
if
going.
it looks like they're running, can I run down the hall and cast a spell at them?
Yeah, you can move, make it to the hall. In fact, I'll do that. Somebody's going to need to light a torch, obviously. And then, meanwhile, I assume Rex is going with you. There you go. So you make it to the hall. You can see they're running away, and you can roll for your number of hit dice if I think
Are
if you're
there-
doing what I think you're doing.
Yeah. Are there more than? Are they? Yeah. So they're within 240 feet, certainly. How many hit dice are they?
They are one hit die. There's no way they could pass. They're going to fall asleep.
10 of them.
All right. Meanwhile, Finbar, how'd the strength save go?
Awful, really bad.
Oh, really? Oh,
What's the
6.
door made out of?
All right, it's made out of stone. Yeah, so they're able to hold off. That just takes more time. So that's the downside to that. And you can try again on your next turn. They're going to keep trying to. If somebody helps you, I'll say that you get a +2. You know.
That's what I was going to ask. Can Bjorn help him out since I'm over there?
Yeah, absolutely. If Bjorn goes up, you get a +2 to your strength save.
You want me to roll that now? or-
Yeah, go ahead and roll. It's the
Oh.
next round. These
I
two-
got it, Bjorn. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yay.
That was the strength of Odin that we needed here.
Bam! You slam open the door
That is
to
Finbar.
now.
You know that, right?
I'm going to give them a chance to be surprised, because they might be surprised by this. They are not surprised. That means that they are there and ready to fight. So I'm switching the initiative over to Finbar. Roll a d6 to see who can act first. Never mind, you win. Finbar, Bjorn, Mannequin, and Father Bloombad, you can act first.
I was gonna say, Bloombad didn't come. I'm not going.
I'll cast Hold Person.
Okay.
Can I move without triggering some sort of attack on myself?
No.
Okay. And then second question is, can I move and cast a spell or no?
Now, if you miss, and you don't miss, okay. But if you do that and you miss and you fire into melee where they're fighting now, you have a chance of hitting an ally, Chris. But,
Monacan's chaotic.
but nonetheless, it works as arrows fly past your head, Bjorn and Finbar, and two of the bandits drop dead. I'm sorry, what were you asking, Dave?
So A, they get a free attack if I move.
Yes.
Okay, and then B, can I move and cast the spell?
Yes.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, I don't have any spells left. I was just curious.
Finbar would want to put himself between Bjorn and these guys here.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that you can do that.
I'll poke with my spear and give it a try.
All right. Okay, what about is anyone else moving on this turn? Father Bloombad, Caden.
I don't think I can get through him, Kevin.
I mean, you can come up and well, Bjorn would have to face an attack, but so no, no. And Magnus, you can, I see what you're doing. You're using the round to catch back up. Okay, so and then nobody else has a spear, so and everybody attacked. Finbar, did you already attack?
I have not attacked yet.
All right, yeah, you can do that. 11. And do you have a bonus, like a strength bonus? Okay, that misses. All right, they are going to attack Finbar.
I wanted to cast that spell. Can I still cast it or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold person. Yeah, absolutely. Is it a save?
1d4. Two of them. Yeah, I believe it is. Hold on.
Actually, can I cast a spell as well?
Completely immobilized. Saving throw applies. So I guess it's save versus magic.
How many?
Two.
Two of them. Okay, here we go. What do they have to save against? Their saving throw numbers.
I would assume magic, right, or spells, right?
Yeah, they both fail, and so.
Just harm them not.
Yeah, they're held in place, and then.
Harm them not. We will interrogate them properly.
And then what were you going to do, Caden?
No, I don't need to now.
One's still alive, so it's going to attack Finbar.
Oh, was he held?
This one right here's not.
Oh,
there were two that were held.
Are you going to cast a spell?
Were there two? It said there were two that were held.
Yeah, there's one around the corner. I was going to give you all the...
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm going to blind the other one then, if I can.
Yeah, you blind him. Boom, you blind him this round. He's unable to see. And if you want, you can essentially surround him on the next turn and he'll surrender. If he doesn't get crazy. Let's see if he's crazy. He is not crazy, and he does in fact surrender. So.
Tie him up.
You take 3 of them alive. You find out that these are wanted men. They're criminals. They've been kept.
Bounty.
Yeah, they do have a bounty. You before we end the session, you make it back with no treasure, unfortunately.
While we're still here, is there any chance we could have Magnus try to pry their secrets out of them?
I was going to ask, what about the other two that he put to sleep?
We can.
Yeah, there's 2 others asleep.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of them. I got you.
Yeah. Bring them all back to Zelkor's Ferry.
So, they had.
I didn't have Charm Person memorized, so.
Maybe the next step.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, they didn't have any appreciable belongings, but if you force these people back, that's let's see, 2, That's 4, 6. I think was it 6 that survived? No, 3 plus 2 is 5 survived.
Yeah.
And they each have a bounty of 25 gold pieces on their heads. As
Well,
you find out.
the dead ones presumably also had a bounty.
Yes.
Was it dead or alive?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you
And
get
we'll
the
collect
bounty
those too.
from these criminals who had broken out of jail, and checked out 2 of the rooms and slain a whole bunch of mutated peoples, and discovered a break in reality into another world, and made it back. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I broke down a door.
You did. You broke down the door, and you all survived, and you made it back to Zelkor's Ferry alive once again.
I mean, can we interrogate them for like secrets that they may have discovered while they were in there?
We will do that
Yeah.
since we're out of time. We will do that in chat between
Okay.
sessions. But you made it back alive to the Bristleback Inn on the 4th day, and that's the end of the session.